can't do that, can I? Nah, I couldn't do that. The purists would hate it. Let's do it anyway. So guys, welcome back to In the Frame, and a little bit something different. I did tell you that the purists wouldn't like that one, and if you are still watching, I can hear the purists and traditionalists running off, complaining. I can already read the comments. If you are still here watching, then you'll remember that in the last video I said that I wanted to try and chase the 147s, hence the Quinton Han style break-off. There's one for the kids. How many of you remember Quinton Han? Get stuck into the comments and let me know. Let me know, do you remember Quinton Han? Check out some of the other videos that he got involved with years and years ago. But yeah, back to In the Frame. I do want to try and chase the 147. So I've broken off slightly differently this time to try and encourage, you know, the reds into open play, trying to keep the pink in play, although it's come all the way up here. Do you know what? This isn't a bad configuration. If I don't make the 147, then I will carry the frame on more like a traditional In the Frame. I say traditional, it's been going about 4 months, as if it's been going 40 years. 4 months we've been doing this. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome, subscribe, hit that button, hit the like button, costs you absolutely nothing. You won't miss any new content. And yeah, let's crack on. I've obviously not left myself in the best position following that break off. I don't see a red that pots. There's a potential plant there to the right middle pocket, which I might have a look at in a moment. Remember, the whole point of this now is to try to make that magical 147 break. If the pot on the black is on, or if the position for the black is available, I will be trying to get to it. I will bail out if it goes wrong, but at all times I'm going to chase the black. Now I'm going to play this plant, I think. It's not quite set. I've got to hit the first red, that's this red. I've got to hit it slightly higher up the table. Just got to miss the pocket to the left as I look. And that might throw the red into the middle pocket. Oh yeah, we got it. Okay, so we're away. And that's one red. 14 more to go. Let's have a look where we want to put the cue ball to give ourselves the best chance. I'm just going to come around here and have a look what goes, because this is one of the mistakes I see from a lot of amateur players. They just don't have a look. Come around and have a look. You see, because from that side of the table, it doesn't look like this red pots to that corner pocket. But from here, I can clearly see that it does. So now I know that if I pot the black and leave the cue ball over here, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 reds. That's there. So now I think, right, that's going to be favourite. Unless I see something else on the way around, which you might do. No, I haven't. So I'm going to pot the black, stun the cue ball off the cushion, and anywhere up here, bar there. I don't want to be stuck to that red. Even if I go past the red, I've got the red on the side cushion. Nice pot on the black, nice little stun shot. Just a touch of right-hand side, check side. And that's sent the cue ball up into that area. Slightly too far up for the red closest to the black. That was the one I really wanted to be on, because moving this one would have freed these two. So that was the one I really wanted. I can pop this red, but cue ball going the wrong way. Can pop this red, cue ball going the wrong way. So now I've got the trickiest of them all. This red to the middle pocket, and I've got choices. I can either stun the cue ball through this gap on and off the side cushion for the black, or I can go through this gap. The problem with this gap is if I make it, the cue ball's always getting further away from the black and eventually ends by the side cushion. It's no good. So I'm going to play through this gap onto this side cushion, because I was always taught if you're going to use the cushion, use it and go towards the next ball. So I'd much prefer this shot coming towards the black rather than this one that's slightly easier, but the cue ball's always drifting further from the black. I will say from the start that I don't like these shots. These are, for some reason, this type of angle into the middle pocket. I don't like this shot at all. But this is YouTube, and we don't back down. We always go for the aggressive shot. I'm quite pleased with that. Don't like those shots, don't know why. Never liked them since I was a kid. Just don't like that angle. Anyway, let's have a quick look. This red actually does pot. See, these are kind of all blocking each other. This one here would pot to that corner if those three weren't there. These two do pot over there. These two go, do you know what? This is quite a good chance, you know. I reckon if I could just find my way onto the next red with a nice angle to get to the black, we might have a sneaky little chance. Now, with that in mind, what's the shot to play? I found it. I'm going to play the cannon to this red, and I'll tell you why. I could play to pot the black and stun over there, couldn't I? Could do that. But as I did on the last attempt, I went a bit too far. I wasn't on this red. I really want to move that. I feel like that red's the key. Get that out of the way, and we could be on our way to the 147. So I'm going to play the cannon on this red to play for that red next. But the insurance policy, if I do miss the cannon, which, let's be honest, I might, these two reds are pretty much a perfect plant to that corner pocket. So if I were to miss the cannon and finish here, then I've got the plant. If I go too far, I've got this red. Too far again, I've got this red. And too far again, I've got this red. And if I totally butcher it and come up the table, I've got these two waiting for me as well. So a little bit of advice there, you know, in terms of break building. Years ago, it was play for areas. But you know, play for shots, just have a think about it. What happens if I play my shot and I don't get it correctly? Because how many times do you play shots that don't work? Happens to me all the time. So I'm going to play the cannon. But if it doesn't work, I'm almost guaranteed to be on a red and be able to get back for the black. Well, I told you I might get the cannon wrong, and I was right. But the red I've collided with, I've knocked into a potable position. So there's a little bit of luck, you see. You always need a little bit of luck. That's not the shot I played, but we're still okay. Now, let's concentrate now, because this is a good chance. Pop that red. Just screw down the table for the black. Yeah, that was a nice shot. They need a little bit of concentration, those reds to the middles. Those angles aren't nice. Okay, that red nearest the pink spot looks like the next red to me. Round the angles of the table, a little bit of left-hand side. Choice of reds, but that's the red I'd like to be on. Here comes the cue ball. There you can see with the spotted cue ball, you can see that side spin taking effect. And this table is opening up nicely. Again, pot the red, screw back for the black. We're only playing for the black, remember? Oh, it's not great. It's not great. Now, those two reds stuck together are a plant into this middle pocket, but I'd like to be on the red that's on its own. That means I want to be in and around here somewhere. A nice angle to pop that red to the middle and get back for the black. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, well, I keep leaving these red to middle pockets, don't I? I mean, you're supposed to really pop the reds to the corners. That's not an official rule, but you're supposed to pop most of the reds to the corners anyway. Okay. Nothing complicated here. Again, reds to middle pockets from in and around the pink spot. They just demand that little bit of extra concentration. So pick your part of the pocket, sight the ball nicely. Yeah, that just needed that bit of concentration there. Pleased with that one. And now, well, I was originally going to screw up the table and play for this red. You know the red, you remember the red I played for about a week ago? I was played for it ages ago. We finally got on it. But you know, I might play for something else, because at this stage of a 147 attempt, you start looking at the awkward reds and leaving some of the easier ones till later. There's no point making a 147 or trying to make the 147 and leave all the difficult reds till last. No point in that at all. So, like, I can play for this red, this red, this red, I can, and I might. But at some stage, I'm going to have to think about these. I'm going to have to think about this one. And of course, we've got that one way up there that I've got to think about as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to screw into this area here, where I can play this red, or this red. And you know, I'd love to be in there. If I'm being totally honest, that's where I'd like to be, to play this red next. Because that, you know, it's not a difficult red, but it's one of the difficult ones that's on this table. So I'm played into that area there. And at first glance, it looks pretty good. If I can drop this red in with the rest and avoid the cannon on the 2 next door, and I can, I'm going to play it now. And this is another break building tip. Whether you're chasing the 147, maybe you're chasing your first century, or chasing your highest break, don't leave the really difficult balls till last. You watch the great break builders of the game all the way through snooker. They find a way of taking out those really difficult reds early on in the break. Then you're left with all the easy ones. Right, drop this red in. After all that, don't miss this red, Shaun, whatever you do. Ooh, I tell you what, I nearly did. I nearly slipped even further down the rankings of being about the rest players. Ooh, goodness. Okay, now I don't mind screwing into this zone and playing this red. You know, I've sacrificed it once. I'd rather be on this one, if I'm honest. So I'm going to play for the red to the middle. Keep the reds closest to the black if I can. Yeah, that's okay. That red on the side cushion to the left is just causing me a few issues because I've just got to bridge over it, but yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, now I pop the red. I'm going to stun on and off the cushion for the black. Yeah, that's nice. And this is looking like a really good chance. Now I've got a really exciting shot now that I could play. Remember what I was saying about moving the awkward balls? That red in bulk, there's nothing really awkward about it. It's just a long way away. We can sort that out, no problem. The 2 awkward balls that are left on the table is this one, and as a right-hander, do you know it's okay? And this one, nearest this side cushion. And the cue ball has finished in an absolutely perfect position to pot the black, play off this bottom cushion with just a bit of right-hand side, widen the angle of the cue ball into there, and from there, nudge that red out. And remember, these 2 reds both pop to this pocket. So if I'm not on the red that I nudge, I'll be on these 2. You cannot afford to pass these opportunities up when trying to make a 147 break. Of course, if I miss the cannon on the red, I'm on one of these 2 reds. They are my reserve reds in this situation. So this is too good an opportunity to pass up. I might not get the cannon, but I'm playing to get the cannon. Bottom cushion, side cushion, nudge that red into play. Just a little nudge. That is absolutely fine. You play that type of shot in your snooker club, playing against your mates, they will know that you know what you're doing, because most players there would have played for one of the easy shots. That type of shot, that's the type of shot that shows you that you know what you're doing. Now, you've seen enough of these videos to know that after saying something like that, I will probably miss the next red. But I'm going to try and carry on, because this is a good chance. Choices for me now. If I pop that red, I cannon in into that one, and it's just out of these 2. This one's slightly more difficult. If I pop this one, the cannon on this red is unavoidable, and I don't really know where the red's going to finish. So I'm going to play the more difficult red. He says, just drop this red in, on and off the cushion for the black. It's there nicely. And now we're really looking good. I can pop this black with top spin off the 2 cushions. I don't mind if I cannon into this red. I don't mind if I come past it. I'm going to try to come past it for it into the corner pocket. If I don't like it, I'll play this one. If I run into it, I'm on this one. So as long as I pot the black, this can't really go wrong. Here comes the cue ball. Don't mind if it hits the red. Didn't hit the red. And I'm on the red to the corner pocket. I'm on either of them. Just because I'm stood here, I'm going to play for this red for no other reason than that. Just drop it in for the black. I don't really want to be straight on the black, but it looks pretty straight. Sure, it's okay. Screw on and off this cushion. As long as I get past the red that's to my left, we're okay. I don't want to be queuing over that, but that looks nice. Anyone getting excited yet? It's just me. Okay. Drop this red in for the black. And at some stage, very soon, I'm going to start thinking about the red in bulk. Because that is now, I said earlier on, it's not a problem. And in of itself, it's not. But it's got to go sometime. And I don't want to leave it till last. This is all linked to what I was saying before. If I take all these 4 reds here and leave this one till last, when I eventually play for it, I've got to get on it perfectly, which in fairness, I should do. I've got such a big margin of error to get in behind that red perfectly. I should be able to do that. But you'd love to be able to play for it, and if that went wrong, you've got one of the other reds as a bit of a get out of jail free card, wouldn't you? So I'm going to play for it at some stage, but I don't think that stage is now. I think I'm just going to pop the black up the middle of the table, across the pink spot for this red next door. This frame well over, by the way. That's 10 reds and 10 blacks. That's 80. And it's now just a question of how do I get on the black from this red? If I just drop it in, it leaves me a distance away. I'm just going to stun on and off the cushion. I don't really want to collide with that red on the cushion. Oh, well, I did by accident, and that's worked out really well. I didn't play that. That was lucky. I mean, maybe I should have played it. Look how it's worked out. Why didn't I do it? Anyway, I didn't. And now I've got a chance to play for this red, which again, in of itself isn't that difficult, but because it's nearer the side cushion, it's, you know, one of the harder reds. And of course, having knocked this one into play, I can play for it. If I'm not on it, I've got this red waiting. This is the toughest pot on the black we've had so far. Shouldn't be too difficult, but I'm playing for the red to my right. Oh. Guys, I'm absolutely gutted. I cannot believe it. What did I do there? We were chasing the 147. I'm more gutted than you. I can assure you of that. I'm super, super gutted that I missed the black. But I did miss it. That's the sport we all love. No 147. It was exciting while it lasted. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you